People with a spiritual gift are, mostly, affected by these 10 strange occurrences. Have you ever marveled at how some people seem to excel at things that others struggle to achieve? We all possess unique gifts that come naturally and with ease. But while some gifts are easily identifiable, others are more obscure, requiring effort and concentration to uncover. In the case of spiritual gifts, their complexity makes them all the more enigmatic. Spiritual gifts, when found, are precious because they are a rare find, your discovery of which can lead you to feeling exceptional. But in this 21st century era of technological and scientific advancements, the idea of spiritual gifts seems to be losing ground. The prevalence of scientific principles makes it challenging for many to believe in such gifts. Moreover, when we hear of spiritual gifts, our minds invariably drift to third-world countries. And even when gifted people are identified, managing their unique talents can lead to a feeling of burden and bewilderment. However, if you are open to exploring the fascinating world of spiritual awakening and gifts, this video is for you. Brace yourself as we delve into the mysteries of spiritual gifting, unveiling unconventional effects and peculiarities that habitually occur in individuals with spiritual gifts. So if you find this subject piques your interest, please hit the like and share buttons and tune in for an exciting and informative experience. Here are some of the strange things that manifest in individuals with unique spiritual gifts. 1. The magnetic pull of the spiritual. The spiritual gift is more than just a connection to a higher plane. It's an invisible force that attracts those who seek guidance. A powerful magnet that pulls people as wacky as they come. And yet the spiritually gifted seem not to mind. Perhaps it's because there's a pattern in all the randomness, a reason for these enigmatic strangers to be drawn to them. Sometimes it's as if the universe has pointed them in the direction of a healer, a guide, someone who can shed light on their darkness. Conversations about life, past traumas, and hope for the future flow with an intensity is both thrilling and overwhelming. For the spiritually gifted, these moments are not a coincidence, but a sacred responsibility to heal the hurting and awaken the lost. It's not just the nature of the interaction, but the connection each one shares, reminding us of the eternal ties that bind us all. The lessons these encounters hold may yet be a mystery, but the magnetic pull of the spiritual gift is a powerful force that leaves us both perplexed and fascinated. 2. Being the empath, masters of spiritual sensitivity. A heightened sense of emotional intuition is a common thread connecting those with spiritual gifts, allowing them to sense the thoughts and feelings of those around them. An empath's gift is not limited to just acknowledging another's problem, but rather an unyielding desire to alleviate any pain they detect. The cost of this heightened sensitivity can be steep, leaving them plagued by restless thoughts until they are confident that their aid has brought some degree of solace to the person in need. It's an all-consuming gnawing urge to help those suffering from a bad mood or distraught emotions, even if it means going to extreme lengths or being at constant comfort until joy returns. In essence, the empath, with their emotional cunning and deep-rooted intuition, is a force for good, a protector of the soul. 3. Unmovering in the face of negative energy. It's said that people with spiritual gifts possess a unique ability, an unyielding radar that picks up the slightest presence of negative energy in a space. Their intuition is acute, and their senses powerful enough to detect when all is not well. Unlike most people, an empath's sense is not confined to verbal or facial cues that people exhibit when tense. Their power goes beyond that to a barely perceptible threshold that escapes the senses of others. They pick up on unspoken words, unvoiced thoughts, and the faintest traces of negative energy, like a radar that knows no bound. Being an empath means not only bearing the weight of your emotions, but also the emotions of those around you. It's a gift that takes as much as it gives, an unrelenting exchange of emotions and energy. 4. The witching hours, awakened by the spirits. There are moments when the spirits stir, and if you're one of the few with a spiritual gift, you'll sense it. It's during the darkest hours of the night, between 3 to 4 on, that the veil between worlds becomes most translucent. It's not a mere whim or desire to stretch your legs, but a stirring inside you, a compulsion to rise and awaken. Your body may crave rest, but the spirits know better, calling you to wakeful midnights to communicate with someone attuned to their frequencies. Perhaps it's a sacred task whispered in your ear, a quest only you can do, or a gift to bear to the world. It's all beyond the human understanding, but a vital mission to which you have been called. So, embrace your nocturnal awakenings, for the spirits need you. 5. Power to move the earth and skies. To have a heightened spiritual gift is to bear the heavy burden of the emotional world. An empath's heart feels like a raging tempest, casting waves of emotions that can ripple through the physical world. But when emotions run high, strange phenomena can manifest around them. Like a flickering light that refuses to behave, electric gadgets either do not perform as they should or go haywire, plants wither, and the ground rumbles in displeasure. It's a connection that evokes awe, leaving us entranced and perplexed. Perhaps it's the natural world answering the empath's call, dancing to their tune, and yielding to their will. There's so much to learn, so much to discover on the connection between spiritual gifts and the elements, but one thing remains sure: they are the puppeteers with the power to move even the earth and skies. 6. The whispers of nature. The spiritually gifted possess an awareness that goes beyond just the physical realm, for they hear the whispers of nature's every whim. With the slightest shift in the breeze, a subtle change in the air, they feel its weight, something seen only to the most attuned. Their heightened intuition allows them to anticipate what others can hardly imagine, sensing the weather's changes even before the clouds have gathered. Perhaps it's because deep in their bones, they understand their connection to the natural world. They know that every living thing is an extension of their soul, an intertwined web of beauty and energy. And so, as they go about their day, their senses on high alert, they're ever ready to surrender to the dance of the elements. The spiritual gift is not a curse or a burden, but a blessing that allows them to revel in the mysteries of life and all its vast complexities. 7. The dance of the wild. The spiritually gifted are more than mere people. They're a force of nature that animals are irresistibly drawn to. Creatures of the wild can sense the energy of the spiritually attuned, recognizing the kindred spirit between them. Animals possess inherent intelligence that transcends that of even the most knowledgeable humans. They sense the good and the bad in people, seen through us with their unfiltered gaze. But when they meet someone with a spiritual gift, they see something else, something that speaks to their ancient souls. It's a bond that transcends the physical, an unbreakable link between animal and human that defies all understanding. The spiritually gifted possess a tenderness towards the wild ones, and they sense it, responding with a trust that only comes from the purest of hearts. 8. Timeless visions. The spiritually gifted are not bound by the constraints of time and space. They see beyond what's in front of them and glimpse the secrets of the universe. They travel across the ages by linking the past, present, and future thanks to their unrestricted imagination. Have you ever had déjà vu, the sensation that you have been someplace before, but can't place the time or place? That is only the top of the iceberg for spiritually gifted individuals. They experience what others can only dream of, traveling through the tides of time as if they were riding waves. Visions of yesterday, today, and tomorrow intermingle with their waking world, shaping their every moment with a mystic energy that defies rationality. It's a dance with the unknown, a game of the mind that they play with the universe itself. So if you ever find yourself lost in time, remember that the spiritually gifted are never truly lost. They're exactly where they need to be, experiencing time in a way that only the most perceptive of souls can ever truly comprehend. 9. Dreamweavers. The spiritually gifted are the architects of their own reality. They live in a world of their making, a magical realm born of their imagination and infused with their essence. They're not isolated, they're just on an eternal quest for the ultimate form of self-expression. It's true that they sometimes withdraw from the world and its cacophony of voices. This, however, is not a failure. Rather, it is a transformation, a rebirth into a universe of limitless possibilities. They're not alone, they're in a state of spiritual union with the cosmos. And in this world they dream up, they create wonder after wonder, shaping nature to their every whim and fancy. They craft worlds of untold beauty, where the impossible becomes reality, where dragons fly and unicorns roam. It's an escape from the ordinary, a means to ascend into the world of dreams and leave behind the grind of reality. And when they're through, they come back to reality feeling revitalized and invigorated and prepared to face the world from a fresh angle. 10. The dark side of the gift. According to the proverb, with tremendous power comes great responsibility. And nothing could be more true for spiritually endowed people, who must always carry the weight of their endowments on their shoulders. Of course, there are nights when those shoulders sag under the burden, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. Insomnia and nightmares are the constant companions of the spiritually gifted, relentless in their pursuit of the next victim. They prey on the dark recesses of the psyche, draining the soul until only fear and anxiety remain. But these nightmares are not just brain farts, they're gateways to a different reality. In the world of the spiritually endowed, nothing is what it appears to be, and everything conceals concealed meanings. Consequently, they must decipher these dreams, unraveling the subconscious strands to ascertain the true message. Sometimes it serves as a warning, signaling impending peril. Occasionally, it is a clarion warning, a charge to action when the world requires defending. In either case, they must rise to the challenge and place themselves in danger for the greater good. So, if you are among the fortunate and afflicted, know that you are not alone. Lean on your fellow visionaries, share your visions, and under no circumstances surrender. For you are the universe's guardians, the chosen ones, and the world you create will determine your fate.
So, let's summarize today's video before we close the session. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to excel at things that others find difficult? We all possess unique and valuable gifts that come naturally and with ease, yet some are more obscure and require exploration to uncover. Spiritual gifts in particular are rare and precious find. But in this 21st century world of technological and scientific advancements, the concept of spiritual gifts is losing ground. The prevalence of scientific principles make it challenging for many to believe in such gifts, and even when we hear of them, our minds often drift to third world countries. However, if you are open to exploring the exciting realm of spiritual awakening and spiritual gifts, you are in luck. The spiritually gifted possess an array of unconventional and intriguing abilities that we just unveiled in today's video. These abilities often leave us both perplexed and fascinated. So let's summarize again the unique effects and peculiarities that typically occur in individuals with spiritual gifts. Firstly, the spiritual gift is more than just a connection to a higher plane. It is a potent and invisible force that attracts those seeking guidance, acting as a powerful magnet, drawing people to the spiritually gifted. Conversations with them flow with an intensity that is both thrilling and overwhelming. For the spiritually gifted, these moments are a sacred responsibility to heal the hurting and awaken the lost. The magnetic pull of spiritual gifting is a wondrous force that taps into the ethereal ties that bind us all. Second, spiritual gift bearers have a heightened sense of emotional intuition, allowing them to detect the thoughts and feelings of those around them. These empaths possess an unyielding desire to alleviate any pain they detect, making them a force for good, a protector of the soul. Thirdly, people with spiritual gifts possess an unyielding radar that picks up the slightest presence of negative energy in a space. Unlike most people, empaths pick up on unspoken words and unvoiced thoughts and have a barely perceptible threshold that escapes the senses of others. Fourth, there are moments when the spirits stir, and if you are one of the few with a spiritual gift, you will sense it. During the darkest hours of the night, the veil between worlds becomes most transparent. You may feel a compulsion to rise and awaken, for the spirits needs you. Fifth, heightened spiritual gifts are to bear the heavy burden of the emotional world, casting waves of emotions that can ripple through the physical world. People with spiritual gifts possess a power to move even the earth and skies, and it is not exaggerating. 6. People with spiritual gifts possess an awareness that goes beyond the physical realm. With the slightest shift in the breeze, they feel it, sensing the weather's changes even before the clouds have gathered. They are ever ready to surrender to the dance of the elements. 7. Creatures of the wild are irresistibly drawn to the spiritually gifted people. They sense the good and the bad in people and respond with trust when they meet people with spiritual gifts. Number 8. Spiritually gifted individuals are not bound by the constraints of time and space. They experience what others can only dream of, traveling through the tides of time as if they were riding waves. 9. Spiritually gifted people are the architects of their reality, living in a world of their making, born of imagination and infused with their essence. And finally, spiritually endowed people must always carry the weight of their endowments on their shoulders. The nightmares they experience are not just brain fart, they are gateways to a different reality. They must decipher these dreams to understand their true meaning. So in conclusion, spiritual gifts are rare and precious finds that require exploration to uncover. People with spiritual gifts possess an array of unconventional abilities that both perplex and fascinate us. They are magnets attracting people seeking guidance, a force for good, masters of emotional sensitivity, and architects of their reality. Furthermore, spiritually gifted individuals are the guardians of the universe. Well, I think this is it for today's video. I hope you find this video interesting, and if you have any thoughts or experiences, please don't hesitate to write them down in the comment section below. Until next time, have a nice day everyone.